This is a time-lapse version of me sewing a coat made out of an old quilt. There was and often is damage to the quilts that I find at thrift stores or marketplace or yard sales, or sometimes people give them to me. And so I have to work around the damaged areas. And I also have to look at whether there's a direction that the quilt goes so that there's not upside down trees when you wear the garment, or if there's room to make two coats out of one quilt. If it's pretty big, if it's queen size or bigger, I can make two coats, but there's not enough binding. And I use a lot of binding in my coats because I like all of the seams to be enclosed or covered. So for the main structural seams, first I have as few seams as possible. Second, I enclose them with what's called a French seam. And then for the binding, I'll use what's on the quilt when possible. If not, I will cut up the scraps from the quilt and use the backing to make my own binding. I also create binding that covers the seam that's where the sleeves join the body and where the body joins the hood. I like it to look nice. It's not reversible, but it does look nice, and it's very durable this way. The very last thing that I actually put on the coat is the zipper. That's the last thing to go in. I know you see the glue stick there and wonder what that's for. That is when I'm sewing on the binding and I get to the little ends and you have to fold it under, and on the top layer and the bottom layer you have to fold it under a couple times, and I want it to be just right, and that holds it in place. Meticulously tiny corners, much better than pins or clips would. So you'll see finished pictures of the quilt here, of the coat, and what a pretty bright pink lining it has on it and zipper.